Welcome back to my channel. I'm Lise Leblanc, and in today's video, we'll be diving into the intricate and extremely confusing world of gaslighting. I will explain what gaslighting is, what it is not, common gaslighting phrases, and I will explain the main reasons why narcissists, sociopaths, as well as why people without any mental disorders can gaslight. And at the end of this video, I will give you 5 signs to recognize when you are being gaslighted. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell. Gaslighting is defined as the psychological manipulation of a person, usually over an extended period of time, that causes that person to question the validity of their own thoughts, perceptions, interpretations, judgments, memories, and typically leads to complete confusion and uncertainty about one's own emotional stability. And it also causes dependence on the gaslighter. Gaslighting often starts out small, gradually escalating and becoming a consistent pattern of manipulative behavior. And the tactics usually include things like denying. So maybe denying previous statements. They might say, "I never said that," even though they just said that statement moments ago. Contradicting your memory. So the gaslighter might say things like, "You must be mistaken," or "That never happened," even though you know that it did. Blaming you. So the gaslighter shifts blame onto the victim, saying things like, "You're too sensitive," or "You're overreacting." The gaslighter may use others to discredit you. They may claim that others don't believe you or they think you're crazy. They may minimize your feelings. So the gaslighter dismisses or trivializes your emotions, saying you're too dramatic, irrational, or making a big deal out of everything. They may twist the truth. So the gaslighter alters facts or context to make you doubt your understanding of a situation. Another way they may gaslight you is by intentionally hiding or withholding information to create confusion. And then they will say that they told you about it, but you're the one not remembering. And then they go on to reinforce their narrative. So the gaslighter constantly repeats their version of events, making it harder and harder for you to trust your own memory. And this creates doubt about your own mental state, your sanity. And they might even do this with loads of fake empathy, where they pretend to be genuinely worried about your psychological well-being. They may even tell your friends and family to, watch out for certain things and, try to get them to support you. And anyone who doesn't buy into the gaslighter's narrative will be eliminated from your life. They will plant seeds of doubt in your mind about the intentions and trustworthiness of the loved ones who are not buying in. And this can prevent you from getting validation or reality checks from others who actually do care about your well-being. So for the narcissist, here are 5 main reasons that they gaslight others. 1, to alleviate feelings of inadequacy, insecurity, shame, and low self-worth. 2, to avoid accountability and responsibility. 3, to feel superior by making you inferior and dependent on them to interpret reality for you, and that makes them feel more secure and in control. 4, obviously to protect their false self and their false reality. 5, to resolve cognitive dissonance. The narcissist is rejecting their true self and rejecting reality in favor of their delusions. And so when anything or anyone contradicts their delusions, it creates emotional discomfort and cognitive dissonance. And the more the dissonance, the stronger the reaction, and then the more they gaslight you to get you bought into their reality. If the narcissist were to accept your version of reality, their whole world and sense of self would collapse and shatter into a million pieces. So instead, they work really hard to shatter yours. So again, a sociopath has different motives for gaslighting. The sociopath is not delusional like the narcissist. They are not gaslighting you to relieve their discomfort or to protect their own version of reality, where they are the hero and, the victim, the sociopath knows that they're the villain. They're okay with harming others to get what they want. And quote, unquote, normal people may also gaslight others on occasion, usually to avoid accountability, conflict, and other negative consequences. So, for example, maybe you're having an affair. Your partner asks if something's going on and you deny it. Maybe your partner asks again and you deny it again, maybe accusing her of being insecure this time. The next time she asks you, you get angry and tell her that you just can't deal with her paranoia. In this case, you're conscious of what you're doing, and like the narcissist, you will probably justify, minimize, or rationalize your reasons for gaslighting your partner. Here are a few more examples. So let's say you go out for an evening and your wife has a few drinks and she's flirting with another guy. And on the way home, you bring it up, and instead of acknowledging that there was some flirting going on, she says it's all in your head and that you're really jealous. Or here's another example. Maybe you share a memory with your sister where she was abusive towards you when you were young. And instead of admitting that she did something wrong, she says that it never happened, or she recalls a completely different version of the events where she's the good guy. So again, she may be genuinely remembering things differently, or she may be trying to avoid accountability or trying to protect a more positive image of herself. There's really no way of knowing for sure. However, if these types of incidents occur regularly over an extended period of time and are making you doubt your sense of reality or your sense of self, it is gaslighting. And regardless of the intentions or the justifications, gaslighting can have harmful psychological effects. So think twice before making someone feel like what they are hearing, seeing, feeling, or remembering is not right or real. It's important to remember that we all have some level of narcissistic behaviors, and we rationalize, minimize, and justify things to defend and protect ourselves from conflict, harm, negative consequences. But in order to be classified as a type of psychological abuse that would be considered gaslighting, it must be a pattern of behavior, usually a variety of tactics used over an extended period of time that make the victim question their sense of reality and eventually their sense of self. So these infrequent, isolated incidences that could be considered gaslighting behavior would probably be better labeled as lying, denial, or as invalidating. Narcissists are notorious for gaslighting, but the thought in their mind may not always be, I'm going to manipulate you into thinking you're crazy so I can take advantage of you. Their thinking may be more along the lines of, I need to protect my fabricated version of myself and of reality at all cost. In other words, the narcissist needs you to buy into the little, circus that they've orchestrated in their mind so that you can help keep it going. So when your perspective, interpretations, judgments, memories, feelings collide with the narcissist's fabricated self and delusional reality, you are threatening the very foundation of their existence. To them, it's like you're pointing a loaded gun to their head, and they are justified in defending and protecting themselves no matter the cost or the consequences. So here are 5 signs that you may be getting gaslighted. So the first one is that you feel like you're entering the twilight zone and that this relationship is happening in a completely different realm than the rest of your life. 2, you feel like you're losing your mind and you're constantly doubting what you heard, what you saw, what you remember, wondering if you're too sensitive or insecure and just ruminating on and on. 3, you're constantly questioning your judgments and can't make decisions. 4, you're always apologizing, feeling confused about what you did wrong or whether you were really at fault or whether that really even happened. 5, which is a telltale sign of gaslighting, is that you've started to record conversations or to make notes after interactions to gather proof and to reassure yourself that you're not losing your mind. Sometimes it's really hard to get concrete proof because some gaslighters are very masterful at concocting alternate explanations in case they do get caught. So they're always leaving an element of doubt. But if your instincts are telling you that something is off, then pay close attention to the tactics and the mind games that the person is using to manipulate your sense of reality. Consider joining a support group or consulting a mental health professional who has experience with narcissistic abuse and help you get anchored back into reality. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and for more information about gaslighting, please click on the link above.